Hello. Hello, people. Welcome to your February full moon spirit homework. I am Rochelle. I am the founder of Brown Bruja. I'm a psychic and spirit educator. If this is your first time here, welcome. These readings that I do are a little bit unique in that I put a lot of emphasis on receiving actionable steps for you. So here it's not just about, receiving messages from spirit. It is focused on what we can do to implement them, to act on the guidance, to make our lives better, to make them easier, to help us, stress less and worry less, stuff like that. So you're in for a treat today. My setup is a little bit different from what I usually have, and it's because I'm moving right now. So I should have everything set up the way that I want to by the next time that you see me on here. So welcome to my kitchen for today's reading. Let's see. Let me just see if I have any announcements. I don't think so. But before we go ahead and dive in, if you could like this video, you're not liking the low video quality. I promise I will be back on my game the next time. But if you could like this video and also subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, it really helps people see the video come up on their feeds, and it's just easier for it to reach other people and to help the channel grow, and for other people who need to see this to see it. So yeah, I'm actually gonna go ahead and start tuning in. Usually what I do is I'll tune in and just see how many messages spirit wants me to deliver. It's always a different number. I actually do this kind of like different every time I do it, because I just do whatever they want me to do. I'm gonna tune in, and while I'm tuning in, I would really appreciate it if you scrolled down to the description and just took a look at the disclaimer. I'm gonna go ahead and start tuning in now. See how spirit wants us to proceed today. Okay, so there's something. Okay, so there's quite a few topics coming up right now. There's something here about about working with animal medicine, like learning from animals, or like animal spirits. There's something here talking about like paranormal investigations, conducting looking into paranormal studies. I feel like in general they're kind of like throwing or bringing up like practices within people's cultures, precolonial, and also like those that have survived colonization. But it's like, it's not really, they're talking more about like not about like new age practices. They're talking about the ones that are like in part of your culture, indigenous to your homelands. They're like exploration of that kind of stuff, and I think that's why they're talking about like animal spirits or animal medicine. And then like when it comes to like the paranormal investigation, I was thinking more of like what's coming up is like the stories that I used to hear from my elders and my just like the people around me growing up, how they would tell us to like be careful at night, and like, things, how to behave at night, or like when you're in nature, stuff like that. So I'm not sure. I like why are you calling me to bring that up? Well, we'll find out. Let's see what's going on here. I got 3. well, I don't know. They were like between 2 to 4. So I was like, okay, I'll do 3. So I think what I'll do today is I will channel 4 messages for you. And I forgot to say this at the beginning, but when I do these readings, they're not pick a card readings. They're kind of like, because everybody has different stuff going on in their life, you know? So as I go through the different messages, this video is kind of meant for you to watch the whole thing, because there might be other things that come up that you're not aware of, or that you might need to hear but you weren't really sure about. So okay, I know that it's kind of like stream of consciousness right now, but I'm just going with the flow. I'm just going with what spirit wants me to talk about. Okay, so okay. Okay, so for those of you who are feeling a particularly strong draw to like the precolonial spiritual practices of your peoples, I'm not talking about another lineage or like somebody else's culture. This is about you, your ancestors, what your ancestors practice, what the spiritual leaders in your ancestors' homelands practice during that time. If you're feeling a pull towards that, like more than normal, like you feel like you're going down the rabbit hole with it, what they want you to know is that there's you need to be preparing, because so the word that's coming up is like initiation. But it's not I don't think it's exactly what they're talking about. They're talking about, like almost like a spiritual reawakening, spiritual reactivation, where you may find that you'll, like within the next 30 days, 30 to 45 days, let's just say 30 to 60, because, you know, they're not always good with like the time estimation. They're talking about you having some kind of paranormal experience that is related to the practices of the people in your homelands, of where your family's from. When I say that you have to prepare, it's not that something bad's gonna happen to you, but just like know that's coming. I'm not sure. Yeah, so it kind of feels like it's either like an expansion of, it could be your next, it could be your first reawakening, but I don't know. Yeah, I think for a lot of you, this is going to be kind of like your big reawakening. So just beware. And I don't mean that in like a cautionary way. If you are in any way worried about this, which I don't really think you should be, I think that this is going to play out the way that it's meant to, and it's meant to give you tools, or kind of like shine light on like what your path is going to be within this realm. But if you're like a little bit nervous about that, you can always we can always talk about it. You can like DM me, or but if it's like outside of the scope of DMs, maybe we might have to book a session. But I'm not trying to like fearmonger in a way. And anyway, it's almost like they're just kind of letting you know like this might be happening. Hey Island Native 11, what's up? So yeah, that's the first thing that kind of wanted to come out. And so this experience that they're talking about, it could be, there's like, I don't know, I'm having a hard time disentangling this like paranormal and animal spirit thing, because it's almost like, I think for some people it's gonna show up as like feeling like an animal is showing up, like trying to tell you something. Like maybe there's a bird in a tree, like an owl or something, and they're just like staring at you, and they're just like, and you're like, okay, or you kind of get something and you're like, oh shoot, I think that bird was trying to tell me da 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 da. Or like, you know, you go hiking and there's like a coyote or something, and like, don't put yourself in any kind of physical danger. Obviously you don't need to do that in order to have this, whatever this reawakening thing that they're talking about. But just so you know, that is on the horizon. And I said 30 to 60, but I think it's going to be closer to 30. Like within 45 days for sure, but well, not for sure, but that's kind of what I'm feeling like. It's going to happen sooner. I actually feel like maybe like within the next 3 weeks. But everybody's different. Everybody's timeline is different, so I just give that leeway. I think it's really cool. It's almost like seeing an alien is kind of what it feels like. That kind of like it, like inspiring awe, but not necessarily like feeling like you're in danger. Although it might be scary if you're not used to having those kinds of experiences. But as I tell my students, fear is not the best indicator of safety. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyway, that's exciting. This is so sorry. My audio is going to the red. It's very random. This is a very random random message. But see, this is another reason why when I teach spirit communication, I don't even though I teach people how to connect to spirit and receive messages through tarot intuitively, I don't like to put too much focus on the use of tarot as a tool because I'm just checking my stats here. We're good. Okay. Because the tarot is not the only way for you to receive messages. You are the channel. You are the vessel. The tarot is like the way for you to interpret the messages that you're receiving, or like kind of like you're playing charades or Pictionary with spirit. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Sometimes like I do like to have my tarot deck on hand when I do these readings, because since I'm receiving messages for a bunch of people, I don't get that many views, but I think like on average is about like 100 to 150 on these videos, and when I'm channeling for that many people, it's it just helps to have like something like this. But that like right off the top is what wanted to come through. Yeah. And I want to show you something. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have this book from my childhood, and the reason why I'm bringing it and showing it to you is because, I was talking about aliens earlier, and we all know that maybe you don't know, but I do have a special relationship with aliens, which I'm going to talk about eventually. I had another encounter with them, like maybe a few weeks ago at this point, 2-3 weeks ago, maybe 2, I don't know. Anyway, maybe you're ready to, or you're about to experience that too. That will be your paranormal experience if you've been really into diving deep into I guess like explanations around other types of beings, the unseen world that is not being propagated by like the church or mainstream Western thought. I'm trying to say it in a way that's like a little bit more expansive, a little bit more inclusive of like other types of beings, including aliens. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, so I have this book. I got it a long time ago. It's called Child's First Library Learning Sky and Earth. It's very old. When is this from? I don't know if I showed this book before, but look, it's like all yellow on top. Let's see. This is like, oh, okay, copyright. Okay, 1992. It was printed in 1992. Excuse me. So there's a tab here. I don't know when I made this tab, but I did at some point, I guess when I was a kid. And I turned to this page, and look what's on this page. Yeah. Uh-huh. Aliens. Boom. I have a bunch of other alien books that I've talked about. I've showed on like my on my Instagram. But I just want to see. I just want to like look through here and see if there's something. Okay, so I think I know why they wanted me to bring this up because, like, I don't know if you've seen there was something that I saw on TikTok talking about how there's like I think a new planet that was discovered that's like potentially habitable for humans because it's very similar to Earth, and I kind of was thinking about that and how like discussions around planets that could possibly sustain life has like how we like learn about it in school or like they talk about it in like documentaries and stuff like that, and like I just think that like given the vastness of the universe and the different types of living beings that even we see here on Earth, it's kind of like small-minded. No, I don't want to say small-minded because that's derogatory, but it's kind of limiting to think that the only way that a being, an entity could live and survive is the way that humans do in our meat suits. Like, for example, like when I was in 9th grade, I took a marine science class or marine biology class, and we learn about those cyanobacteria, I think, that get their, I think it was cyanobacteria, but some kind of organism, microorganism, that instead of needing sun to survive, it survives on like the heat from like thermal vents in the ocean. You know, like, so when we think about, and I'm telling you, it's like, Rochelle, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm bringing this all up. Sorry to the microphone. I just went to the red again. I'm bringing this all up because when we think about like experiences that we have with entities from spiritual realms or other dimensions or however you want to refer to it, it's not, a lot of times it happens in ways that we don't expect. It happens in ways that we haven't really, that you may not have even like opened your mind to. It might feel like just like something weird, or like oh, something's a little bit different, or like just you may have had experiences, interactions with different entities, spirits, alien, extraterrestrials, whatever, demon, like, I don't really like to say demons because that's kind of like a pejorative term, but you know, other types of beings, and you may not even have known it, you know? So just keep that in mind. Those of you who are resonating with this message, that, especially if you have not, grown up with knowledge around like what it is like to interact with these different types of beings who exist in different ways than us. It's really important to be open-minded, which is why I just looked to the side and I saw somebody smiling, and I got distracted, which is why I teach spirit communication and interaction with the spirit realm the way that I do, about, you know, it's more important to like be observant without judgment, know how to protect yourself, know how to identify like potentially harmful situations, and like how how to protect yourself, get yourself out of those situations, or avoid them at all, you know. Anyway, that's just an aside, because yeah, some of you may be having, or maybe getting ready to have an experience like that soon, and I just hope that you are able to identify it accurately and not just like wave it off of like, oh, it's like somebody was pulling my hair, or what was it? It was like, oh, I felt like a weird reflection, and isn't that weird? But whatever. Like, there's a lot of things that, because of fear or whatever, we might tend to just write off as like coincidence or trick of the light or things like that. And sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not, you know? Yeah. Sorry. Let me see. Okay. Samantha says, so cute. I know, it's super cute. Look at this little boy here in the corner. Kim says, keeping books from your childhood is such a vibe. Honestly, I had a huge bookshelf. I was just talking about this with my little sister. I was such an avid reader. I'm sure like a lot of you, you know, Scholastic Book Fair. When that bookmobile came to school, it was like, get my allowance out, you know. Yeah, I had a lot of books. But when my family had to sell our house, it was like a little too painful for me, so I didn't keep all my books. And I wish I did. And I fucking also let them give my childhood diaries to Goodwill. So there's probably some weirdo like reading about my 5th grade crush. I had so many diaries that I didn't keep, and that's one of my regrets in life. But you know what, maybe it's just bringing somebody a lot of joy now. I hope that it's not. I hope that they just threw it away and it's gonna go back to the earth. But anyway, okay, let's get to the cards now, shall we? Yeah, so I guess that was the first message, you know. So let's see, I'll pull 2 more. Okay, what do folks need to know right now, everybody who's watching this? I just heard a little knock. Okay. Maybe it was me, maybe it wasn't. I'm gonna do 3 piles anyway. So I guess we'll have 4 messages. Alright, so the first pile we have... Ooh... 7 of Swords and 10 of Pentacles. And again, I'm using my laptop computer, so please excuse me. We're going to be back to 1080p next time in 2 weeks, okay? We have the Hangman and the Moon. That's message number, or the third message, I guess. I don't know. I think what I'll do is I'll keep when I do the timestamps, the extemporaneous one that I did, that'll be like general message, and then this will be like 1, 2, 3 or something like that. Yeah. Whoa, that scared me. That was the doorbell. That was really scary. This is my first time hearing that, so I jumped a little bit. But I'm gonna also take that as confirmation from Spirit that they like how I'm doing this layout. Okay. All right, and then our third message is 5 of Pentacles and 6 of Cups. Okay. All right, so let's see what's going on here with this message. The first one, 7 of Swords and 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, so what they're talking about here is like family problems, like disagreements with family. So if you're having disagreements with family, this message is for you. Let me see if I can get a little bit more information here. Yeah, okay, so what they're kind of talking about, I feel like this is like with parents or grandparents. Somebody, how do I say this? This isn't the first time that this situation has come up. It's like an old fight or like something that's like, yeah, mom always says this, dad always says this, auntie, grandma, I don't know. It's just, it's giving toxic family vibes. I'm really sorry about that. And like, it's almost like a disagreement with like it's like old way of thinking being applied to you, who are like who is living in a way that is like not the old way. So I don't know if it's like job related or like oh you're living with your partner but you're not married, or like you're not, why don't you do something that actually makes money or something like that. It's something like that, like a kind of judgment where it's like it's coming from that the judger's trauma kind of a thing. That's kind of what it feels like to me. Let me see what else is going on here. Okay, so let's just see what you need to know about this situation. Yeah. Because with the Seven of Swords, what it feels like is like you're... I feel like the people who need to hear this message are pretty, like, self-aware. I was going to say hyper-aware, but the only reason why... I think the reason why hyper-aware is coming up is because, like, it kind of feels like you want to just, like, run away or, like, just, like, say something nasty and then, like, don't ever talk to me again. Which, you know, maybe that is the right solution for you in order for you to keep your energetic boundaries. But let me actually just, like, tune in here and see what's going on. What's going on? What do they need to know? What is their homework? What is this group's homework? Homework. Yeah, you can't. Well, oh, it sucks because I think, like, whatever this issue is, with the Ten of Pentacles, it feels like it's just, like, it's like a family trait, like a toxic family trait. Like, you're not the only person to have dealt with this in your family. It's like, or it's like, and I'm not saying that, like, everybody in your family is okay with it. I think it's just more like most people are kind of just okay with letting it be how it is because they're, like, over it. Oh, hey, Kathleen. So let's see. It's like they're kind of like you, but they're, like, exhausted. It's like, you know, when there's, like, I'm not gonna give any personal examples actually on this one, but okay, so let's see. What do you need to know? If this is you, what do you need to know? What is your spirit homework here? Actionable steps. Think before you speak. I mean, duh, but okay. So this is kind of what they're talking about. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we have here the Queen of Pentacles, King of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. So with the Three of Pentacles, and what was coming up also when I was shuffling too, is that there needs to be some kind of strategy, because it's not in your best interest, and it's also not going to solve this, like, culture by you just, like, firing off and, like, saying whatever and just being like, you're out of my life, cutting out of my life forever. And I don't think that's necessarily what you want. I see that, like, your desire for things to change comes from a really good place, and I think that if this change can be implemented, it would be beneficial for everybody. But at the same time, like I'm just, like, what is drawing my eye in this Ten of Pentacles is, like, the grapevine, and I kind of just feel like it's, like, weaving through the family. So I don't know if it's, like, a cultural thing, or, like, everybody, like, went through similar trauma in your family's history, and then, like, this is why people act this way, or what. But it's like, you know, everybody needs therapy here, and you're not a therapist, but also if you were, you would be conflicted out because this is just too close to home, you know what I mean? And I think, like, so there's just a piece here about, like, you being one of the most self-aware people in this situation, and even though it, like, it feels unfair. It might feel unfair to like be the bigger person in this situation. I do see it that it is within your best interest to like step back and like strategize a little bit. With the Three of Pentacles, it may be just like talking it out with a friend, maybe even talking it out with like a mental health professional, somebody that specializes in like these kinds of family dynamics. So that's on one side here. And then the second thing is just like if you are able to like distance yourself from, or like, I don't know, I almost want to say like if there's a way for you to like not take it as personally, I don't know, that's not really how I wanted to say it. Because okay, even as I'm gonna say this, and I'm not saying it because I want you to like have compassion for the people that are like treating you rudely, or like or I'm not saying it because I'm trying to justify how they're acting, okay? Please, like, let's just get that straight. I'm saying this because in the meantime, as you're strategizing, as you're like maybe like chipping away at this, I don't want you to like let this drag you down. I don't want you to like take it too personally, because these people are obviously projecting their fears, their worries, their insecurities onto you, and you're just living your life, you know? So let's see here. Yeah, I think, okay, this is kind of what I feel. So with the King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like there is some like mid phase. There's some kind of reconciliation coming where like whoever it is that was like saying that stuff to you, I feel like they're gonna feel bad, and they're either, well, I don't know if they'll say sorry. Maybe they'll say sorry to you, but I feel like their behavior towards you is gonna change. And I don't know if you're gonna actually get the apology that you deserve, but because of this behavior change, I feel like things are gonna get better. So like if you act Seven of Swords style, that's totally gonna like foreclose it, you know what I mean? So like in the meantime, do what you can to take care of yourself. Reach out to spirit if you need to. If you need strength and you feel like you can't handle what the fuck is going on your own, like, you know, reach out to your support system, including your spirit team. That's what this Three of Pentacles is here. And just wait. Yeah, because it doesn't help for you to react, to come from a place where you're like, you're hurting so much that you just want to like burn everything down. Because as I'm tuning in, I don't necessarily think that is what you want. So yeah, good luck. Let me know how it goes. Okay, so our second message, I don't remember what order this was in, but I think this is the second one. Okay, we have the Moon. Why did I kind of sing that? I did not mean to do that. Sorry to everyone. The Moon and the Hangman. So we have two major arcana. All right, let's see what's going on here. Who is this for? What is going on here? Let me just take a sip. Okay. The Moon and the Hangman. Okay, so let's walk through this together. What's drawing my eye here is this here little halo, and then also this like moon halo here. It's kind of like they're together here, or that there's like a similarity here. Not exactly identical, but that's kind of what's drawing my eye. Yeah, I kind of feel like, okay, so what's happening here is that this is for people who recently went through something kind of tough, something very painful. The Moon, maybe it caused you to like doubt yourself, go within. It feels like, and maybe there's some shame around it, some embarrassment. I'm not really sure, but the good news is with the Hangman, I feel like you took like a yucky situation and you kind of flipped it around in your favor, and you're like, oh, actually this is a blessing. It's not a blessing in disguise. That's what I want to say. This was a blessing. Well, I'm going to say it, but then I'm going to think about what they're trying to make me say. They're saying it's not a blessing in disguise. It was a blessing all along. It's meant to further propel you down your path, whatever it is that you've been praying for, but it just had to be done this way. And then I say, like, well, that's not fair, because it's kind of like, it's your, whether or not something is a blessing depends on perspective, right? And I feel like this is really fucked up. I don't know, just like really caused, it's like your inner peace was really shattered here. So why did it have to happen that way? Let's find out. Because what the fuck? Uh-oh. Kathleen says, I feel this. Yikes. Okay, let's see. Why? Why did it have to happen this way? That's not fair. Okay, so what I'm seeing when I close my eyes is I see like a train going on the track, because that's the sound that trains make, as we all know. Okay, let me see what else I'm seeing here. It's like you're just going full speed ahead because you thought that was the right approach. And so how do you stop a train that's going full speed ahead? It has to be like, a word came up for me in Spanish. I was a Spanish major in college, but that was a really long time ago, so I just need to make sure this means. Okay, so the word that came up for me was chocante. And yeah, it that is exactly, yes, what I was thinking of. Yeah, so it's like shocking, it's like Samantha says, yeah, I get it, it's a lesson, but what the fuck? Exactly, what the fuck? Okay, so like it's like you were going, and to redirect, they needed to do it this way. So let's see. What else? What? That's too many. Give us some more information here. It's like the most chocante card in the deck. The Tower. And then we have the Page of Wands. This kind of reminds me of how, like, as you get older, how it's easier to get hurt, or it's, like, harder to recover from, like, getting hurt. So, like, when I was younger, I always used to, like, accidentally tumble down the stairs. But then, like, nothing bad would happen to me. If I tumbled down the stairs now, I would probably be in a back brace. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what these two cards are kind of reminding me of. So I asked them, you just saw me, I asked them, why did it have to happen this way? Instead of answering my question, this is what they said. You'll bounce back from this. You'll be fine. You're just a page in this situation. You're just a little BB. And even though you fell out of the big tower, you're gonna recover. You're very resilient. And it's not like we like are trying to force you to practice resilience or like be a strong person, but it's like you'll be okay. Like, don't worry. So I'm upset for you. So I'm sorry. Don't blame me, but that's really fucked up. But anyway, all right. So let's see what your homework is here. What is spirit homework? Give us some actionable items for people to whom this message pertains. Okay. All right. So they're not really, well, it's like kind of like a mixture of homework, but most of it I think is kind of like just letting you know what's coming up. Okay, so we have the Five of Wands, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and then we have the Four of Swords here. So what this is letting me know is that everything is about to like get back to normal. With the Five of Wands, it still seems like there's like a little bit of like annoying cleanup stuff that needs to be taken care of, but it's not anything compared to this. It's not, okay? Like, so just know that. Yeah. It's kind of just, it's like aftershocks of an earthquake. Well, that's not a really good analogy because sometimes the aftershocks can be really bad. So, never mind. But yeah, so what I'm seeing here with the Ace of Pentacles is that blessing that they were talking about with the hangman, right? Like things turning around for you. I see that's coming, and that you're also going to be able to get rest. But here's what I'm seeing too, is that it's like when the universe, source, divine, creator redirected you, you're on their track now. So there isn't really anything you can do except for just like go on the ride. And that, I think that's kind of why they're not really like giving you anything to do. They're kind of just like, okay, this is what's gonna happen, then this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. So in the Four of Swords, what I feel like they're saying is like, leave it to us. Trust in us. If you look at the person, or I don't know if it's a person or like a statue or whatever, but their hands are kind of like in like a little prayer position. To me, it's like them saying, like, if you feel like things are hard, just like leave it to us. Ask us to give you strength and fortitude as like things continue to play out. We promise that we're gonna take you to a better place, to where you need to be. I don't necessarily think this is something that you could have avoided, to be honest. Why does it look like there's like something in my nose, but it's not? I don't know. Anyway, I don't think this is something that you could have avoided. I think there's a lot of things about like free will and things like that that I don't really, not when I say things, I mean like theories, I don't really have the answer to. But like, please don't blame yourself for like how things have played out, because I don't know, it's almost like you were meant to go through this, which is really fucked up to say when people are like going through hard shit. So like, I really hate that I said that. But just so you know, Spirit is very heavily reassuring you that like things will be a lot better. With the Ace of Pentacles, at the very least, like, look at the change of energy. And you don't need to be a professional tarot reader to see this, between the Ace of Pentacles and then like the Tower, which is where you was at, and the Five of Wands, which is like what's coming up, right? As you're progressing on, things are getting more and more peaceful, more and more stable, right? So yeah, I think that's something to look forward to. Okay, let me know how it goes. All right, here we are coming to our last message of the evening. We have the Six of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Okay, so one phrase that's coming up is self-care. Here, indulgence is coming up here. I'm feeling like chocolate. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so what I feel like this is talking about is people really needing to show themselves more love than they are. And it's people are kind of like high functioning, but like really stressed out. So if that's you, this message is for you. You've kind of been like running on survival mode for a while when you didn't really have to, and I see why it feels so stressful. But what they're saying is that now it's time for you, like, even though things might still be stressful for you, you really need to make time for yourself to like enjoy life and do things that feel luxurious, even if it doesn't feel safe for you to like indulge in a little bit of luxury. It is. And, when I say luxuriousness, I'm not saying, like, go buy yourself a freaking something that you can't afford. You know what I mean? Because what they're talking about, it's not about, like, not feeling like you're able to afford things in terms of, like, monetary value. It's more like, I have so much stuff to do that I don't have time to invest in me, to do a face mask, to stretch my neck, to go on a walk, to have a beverage with my friends, something like that. Yeah, so I feel like they already are kind of like giving you your homework there, but let me just tune in and see. Oh, okay. They just fell out. We have the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Cups. There's people that recognize that you're going through a really shitty time and they want to take care of you. I would even bet that, like, there have been people that have wanted to be like, hey, let me take you out to dinner. Hey, why don't we go get massages? Hey, why don't we go get our nails done or whatever? And you're like, no, I gotta work. Or like, you want to go to the movies? No, I don't think so. Like, I always have work to do. It's like, girl, there's always work to do. There's always going to be something that needs to be done, and it's really important for you to make time for yourself, because you can't sustain at the rate that you're going now. Oh, Kathleen says also feel this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and so with the Ace of Swords here, what it feels is like they want you to just take advantage. Like, so you might find yourself in certain situations where people are going to offer you opportunities to nurture yourself, to engage in self-care, have a taste of luxuriousness like we're talking about. And what your homework is going to be is practicing saying yes when you want to say no. Okay? And we're not talking about bank account, okay? Because I don't blame me if you max out your credit card. That's not what I'm telling you to do, okay? Like, that is not it at all, okay? But, like, if you're, like, bestie, your neighbor, I don't fucking know who it's gonna be, but somebody comes up to you and is like, hey, I know you've been working really hard, why don't we go do something fun? Or you're just, like, in super stress mode and, like, it's, like, 6:30 p.m., you're supposed to leave the office half an hour ago, and somebody texts you, like, hey, come to Pauhana, come to happy hour. Pause before you say no, and say yes. If it's within your bank account, don't blame me. Don't blame me. That's your choice. It's always your choice. I'm just telling you. But consider, I invite you to say yes and see what the outcome is for you. For those of us who are not super good at self-care or nourishment, that kind of like regular nourishment, it can feel really yucky and uncomfortable, and like you might feel really guilty that first time. But the key is to continue to allow yourself to have fun, or like, easy moments, stress less moments, so that the more that you do it, the easier it is for you. And then, like, eventually you stop feeling guilty about it and you start to enjoy it fully, it's totally a practice. So yeah, that's your homework. In the next couple of weeks, like, somebody asks you to go out to salsa night or whatever, like, yeah, they just want you to be happy, okay? Yeah. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you all for bearing with my video quality and the roundabout way that Spirit likes to deliver the messages sometimes. If this resonated with you at all, please give this video a like. Comment, like, yeah, which messages resonated with you, and if you want to share a little bit about, like, what the heck is going on, because I don't know. I mean, I know a little bit, but, you gotta tell me, you gotta let me know, or DM me, or whatever. If you feel called to, please share this video with somebody that you think might need a little bit of homework, or no. Nobody needs homework, even though I call this Spirit homework, but somebody that might need a little bit of guidance, is feeling a little bit lost. Please share this with them, because there might be something that resonates with them, and you can be that divine messenger for them too. We can, yeah, we'll just all be part of that same chain together. And as always, if you want to go deeper and more specifically into any of these messages, or if there's something else that you have like a burning question on and you just really want Spirit's guidance on it, you can always book a session with me. The link is in the description of this video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you have a great full moon. Happy full moon to you all. And I will see you all in the next Spirit